Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Now, Janis Joplin said it first, but we've done it most recently because behind me is a C200, the new C-Class and the latest addition to our Drive long-term fleet. What are we going to do with it and what have we learned so far? Well, strap in for the next 10 minutes or so as we start to go through not only how we bought this car through the new Mercedes-Benz purchasing agency model, but also what we chose, why we chose, and what we're going to do. And of course, if you've got any questions about the new C-Class, this is your time to ask them while we have this car in the Drive garage for the next couple of months.
Before we go too far, let me be clear and say that we didn't actually buy this car, but simply went through the same process of selection and delivery that you would, so that we can share the ownership experience end to end. The C200 is the entry-level model in the new W206 Mercedes C-Class range and is fitted with a 150 kilowatt, 300 Newton metre, 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine with a mild hybrid system. The C200 is offered with a choice of either a sporty AMG line trim, like ours, or a more subtle Edition C package, with pricing that starts at $78,900 before options and on-road costs.
So what did we choose? Well, for a start, we've gone with Obsidian Black as a metallic paint option. That was a cost extra. The main reason there is because my own little Mercedes is black and I kind of wanted to pair the two of them together in the garage. The other option we've gone with is the Sport wheels, which are the 19-inch AMG wheels, and you lose the run flat tyres, but you get the tyre inflation kit with this one. But the big option we've gone for is Vision, which gives you the sunroof, which gives you the head-up display, and it gives you augmented reality navigation. What does all that mean? We'll jump inside and I'll show you, because we've made one other choice to our specification of C-Class that wasn't a cost option, but I reckon is the thing that really sets it apart. Now, before we get into the car itself, let's talk about buying the car, where I'll be assisted by my trusty laptop here. If you recall, at the start of this year, Mercedes-Benz changed the way that you buy any of their cars. They adopted what's called an agency model. And basically that meant the pricing was transparent and the stock was transparent as well. So you can go online onto the Mercedes-Benz website, configure the car you want or search what's in stock, and it would show you from every single car that's currently on hand in Australia what was available to suit your requirements. So that means you don't need to shop around between different dealers. You can look on the website, you can find the car you want, it gives you a full transparent price, shows you what the options are, and then you simply need to go to your local or favoured Mercedes-Benz dealer to complete the transaction. There's no change in that pricing. It doesn't matter who you know or what sort of a deal you can concoct and negotiate. The price is the price is the price. The downside here means that if you've been perfecting the art of negotiation over the last few years, there's actually nothing you can do about it. But the upside is that the price that's represented here, being the same for everybody, means that you can go into the dealer and basically enjoy the car purchase experience, knowing that that one big question has already been answered. I'll show you what the process looks like if you go to the Mercedes-Benz website. The first way you can do this is to actually go through the website and build the car the way that you want to. And you can choose from all the colours and options to actually decide on the spec that you want, and then ask Mercedes if there are any in stock. But the other way is to actually go through the stock listing. You can choose C-Classes there. I've chosen black ones, and you can actually go through and see a car that meets your requirements and budget. It doesn't matter where the car is in Australia, because you can simply go through, find the car that you like the look of. These are all Edition Cs. We're in a regular C200. Here we go. This one's pretty close to ours. It says that it's going to be available in November. This is its drive-away price for a Victorian postcode. You can then take that and go through and click to buy.
As noted, we added metallic paint, wood trim, the Sport and Vision package, which all came to around $91,000 drive-away in Victoria.
Well, there you go. The interior of our C-Class is anything but the boring black on black. We've gone for the Sienna Brown, which is a two-tone combination and a no-cost option. And I tell you what, it really lifts the interior feel of this car, and it certainly makes the base C in the 200 feel almost like an E-Class in the way that it's presented. It's a really, really nice way to do it, and it would be my recommendation that if you are shopping for a car like this, look beyond the black on black. This is a really, really, really cool option to take. Some other interesting things around the cabin though. Now, if you are going to say, James, tell me everything we need to know about the C-Class, we've already done this. We've gone through, and it was a C200, to explain around the features and storage and technology. And you can watch that clip by clicking on the link below, or if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll stick a card up on the screen. But for what we've learned in our car, I'll go through a couple of little interesting things that have come to light since we've taken ownership of this one. Well, for starters, to log in, you can use your fingerprint, which is pretty cool. Now, what you may see here on the home screen of the MBUX infotainment, a slightly different layout than what we've seen before. It's because if you hold down the home button, you can choose whether you want the new 0 layer screen display or the classic MBUX option, which is what we've seen previously. And it's interesting that the two kind of work, obviously the same functions are there, but this one here allows you to choose a function by function each time you go through it. Whereas if you go back to 0 layer, you get a preview of a bunch of different things all at once. So you can see the radio, you can see your phone, you can have navigation, you can even go into up here, some car settings and even some basic directions to use with the virtual assistant. And the virtual assistant, again, is something that we've had a bit of fun with. Now, obviously you can call it by name, or you can even use the button here on the wheel. And I find while driving, using this one to control some of the car's actual functions beyond navigation and audio is actually really good. So if you have a look, close the sun blind.
I'm closing the roller sun blind on the sliding sunroof.
Now, while that may not seem like a massive thing to do while you're driving, to reach up here and do it, it just means that if you are driving, you can quickly tap that and ask the car to do something without taking your hands from the wheel. When the car is on, you can even ask it to run a number of the other functions like, hey Mercedes, turn on passenger seat heating.
I'm switching on the seat heating on the front passenger seat.
Now, I find that to be really useful if I'm either pre-warming the seat to pick up a passenger, or if I'm going to put takeaway on there on the way home, and it saves you reaching across to do it. But it is just one of the functions, obviously, that make the car more useful. You can have a little bit of fun with it, as we've discovered. Hey Mercedes, tell me a joke.
Why should you never eat a clock? It's too time consuming.
There's no Netflix comedy special in the works for the Mercedes, but you can get dad jokes to your heart's content. There's also a few other little secret things that we found in there that we'll put in the write-up for the car. And again, if any of you out there have found some fun little Easter eggs that you can ask the Mercedes virtual assistant, we'd love to hear them. Now, while up there it's very spacious, usable and very comfortable even on longer trips, back here, we've had a bit of feedback from rear seat passengers that it can be a bit tight and you do tend to feel most of the bumps even on middling sized trips. But that's from adults who tend to complain a lot more. And to be honest, this is the first time I've actually sat back here. So the car in its role as my day-to-day executive transport actually works really well. But for a family car, perhaps it's not as well suited. And that's something just to keep in mind if you are going shopping. Now, so far running it around town, our fuel consumption is sitting perhaps a little higher than we would have expected at around 8.5 to 9 litres per 100. But that said, this was a brand new car when we took delivery of it, and we really do need to let it run in. To that end, we're really looking forward to, during our time with the car, taking it for a much longer country drive, because even on shorter freeway sections, we see fuel use down around the 4 and 5 litre per 100 mark. So it's really, will be really interesting to see what it can do on a longer haul. The other thing worthy of note too is that we've had questions from people that with this new purchasing model from Mercedes-Benz dealers, does that mean you can't get your car serviced or you can't buy accessories from Mercedes dealers anymore? Very, very far from the truth. The dealers act and behave exactly as they have done for years. So we will go back to the dealer to show you that this process is as easy as it needs to be, and we'll go and get a set of authentic Mercedes-Benz roof racks to stick on this. We'll find something interesting to put on the top and see if the C-Class can handle some kind of adventure just as well as it handles urban commuting. And the other thing that you've been asking that I've been secretly trying to get information on is how does this C-Class equate in size if you're upgrading from an older C-Class? So to that end, I have been collecting images of this car next to all the previous generations from 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, and of course 206. And to keep the thing going, I'll even show it next to a couple of E-Classes just to give you that full size context of what the 206 is like. So for the next couple of months, while we become C-Class experts, and I'll even add a bit of Janis Joplin to my regular car playlist, we are here to answer your questions. So if there's anything you need to know about this car, about the Mercedes-Benz purchasing experience, or there's anything you'd like to see us do with the C-Class while we have it in our care, you can hit us up in the comments below or send us an email at Drive.com.au.